In this lesson, we will learn about the Shapebuilder tool. With Shapebuilder, we can create sections inside shapes. We can create interesting logos by subtracting or unifying the sections inside shapes. So let's begin. Here is the Shapebuilder tool. So first let's select a rectangle. Let's turn off the fill, and now let's select the pen tool, and also let's keep the fill off, and let us create sections over this rectangle. Let's select all the objects on the artboard, and now let's activate the Shapebuilder tool. We can also hit the keyboard shortcut Shift plus M, and once the Shapebuilder tool is active, here let's pick different colors and we can fill different sections with different colors. So let's start with this green. So we can see here. So we can apply different colors to different sections. Then we can delete these parts. We can remove all these unwanted lines, and now we can see we have divided this rectangle into different sections. We can then select the entire object. We can just turn off the stroke, and now we can just separate different sections from this object. Now let's see some interesting examples with Shapebuilder. Let us design this Chrome logo using the Shapebuilder. So here we have a reference of the Chrome logo, and we have locked the layer. First let's unlock the layer, and let us reduce the opacity of this logo. So we can find opacity option inside the appearance panel. We can also find the opacity option below the menu here. So let's reduce the opacity. Right, now let us lock the layer again, and then let's take a new layer, and we'll be creating this Chrome logo inside this new layer. Right, so first thing is we will activate the ellipse tool, and we will keep the stroke on and fill off. We'll just apply black color for the stroke. Right, now let's begin. Make sure that the reference is at the center of the artboard. Right, so now let's create an ellipse. First we'll create the outermost ellipse. Right, now we will take a duplicate of this ellipse. So we'll simply hit Ctrl C, Ctrl F, or Command C, Command F, and we will center scale the ellipse. Just we will observe the reference and fit these ellipses to the reference. Right, we'll create one more ellipse, then just adjust it to the center ellipse. Now let's create the lines that create different sections of colors. So let's select the pen tool. Let's lock the layer, the reference layer. Then now we'll begin with this red section. So we can just create a line that runs from right to left. Right, and we can observe here the line is intersecting the inner ellipse here. So I have done this on purpose. You'll see why. So let's just slightly move it up. Right, then we'll do the same thing for this green section and yellow section. Again, let's select the pen tool, and we need to also ensure that the fill is off. Right, right, so we need to hit enter. and let us also adjust this one, this line for the green section here, and make sure that the line intersects with the inner ellipse. Right. Then finally let's create the line for the yellow section. Right. And we can just adjust it properly. Right. So now we are done. Now the next thing we are supposed to do is we will unlock the reference layer. We'll take a duplicate of this reference. We can simply hold Alt or Option in PC or Mac, and then we will increase the opacity for this image. Now we will be picking the colors of this particular reference, and we will first save these colors. So where we are going to save, we will first open the swatches panel. The swatches panel is inside the window menu, and if we scroll down we can find the swatches panel. We will pick the colors of this Chrome logo. So what we'll be doing is we'll just select this eyedropper which is inside the toolbar, and if we just click on that particular color, we can just find that color inside this swatches panel. Now what we'll be doing is we will just drag this color and keep it over here. We can also rename it if you want. We can just double click on it and we can rename it as red color. Right. And now we'll also pick the green and the yellow colors. So we can just use the eyedropper, just click on the color, and that particular color is selected over here, and now we will just drag that color and save it inside our swatches panel, and we'll do the same thing for the yellow. Right. Now we'll pick the blue color at the center. So we will just select the eyedropper. We'll first deselect everything on our shape, and we will just pick the blue color inside the reference, and now the blue color is inside our swatches panel. We will just save this blue color inside our swatches panel. Right. Then we will now just hide the reference, and then we will select all the objects that constitute our logo, and then now we will start filling the colors. And we have seen how we have created an overlap here. I have done this on purpose. So the reason why we have created these lines that overlap the inside the inner circle is because we might not just put these lines exactly over the circle, means exactly touching the circle. So in order to avoid creating gaps, so we might end up creating an open gap, and if there is an open gap we may not fill the color properly. So that is one reason. So now after selecting all the objects, we will now activate our Shapebuilder tool, and then we will start with this red section. Here we have already saved our red color, so we will just fill the red color in our red section. Right. And then the green section, we will first pick the green color and fill the green color inside our green section, and then we will pick the yellow color and fill the yellow color inside our yellow section. Right. Now we want the blue color inside our inner circle, so we can simply select the blue color and then fill this color over this inner circle. Right. And we can see there is some gap here. for green, so let's pick the green color here, and then let's close the gap. Right, so here also we can see there is a gap. We can simply pick the yellow color and then we'll close the gap. Right, now it's done. We can actually delete these overlaps now. So we can do one thing. We can just select the inner circle, inner section for this circle, and then close the gaps. But see, we got this yellow color, but we want white color. We want the white color to be inside this inner circle. Right, so we have created a Chrome logo, and we will delete these unwanted lines now. Right, now we will just select the entire object. We don't want the stroke, so we can activate the stroke and turn off the stroke. That's it. So here we have created a Chrome logo using Shapebuilder. Here we will be learning about an option called image trace. So with image trace, we can import images and convert them to vector graphics. And after converting the images to vector graphics, we can use them like normal shapes. Means we can use them along with the Shapebuilder to create sections. Right, so now let's import the image. So we'll go to file, and here we have the option place, and we will import this JPG image which is of a dog. And remember, this is a JPG image and not a vector graphic. It means it is a raster graphic. It has pixels. We need to convert this into a vector graphic. So to convert this to a vector graphic, here we can find image trace. So here is the image trace, and we can expand the options for image trace here. A drop down menu appears. We have a number of options here, but what we'll be doing is we will select this silhouette. Silhouette is a black shadow of a image, so we will select the silhouette option so that we can convert this JPG image into a vector graphic. Right, so when we just selected silhouette, the background behind this dog got disappeared. And now one thing we are supposed to do, that is here we have the option expand. We will click on this expand. Now this dog has become a vector graphic, means it has become a shape. So we can check, we can use the direct selection tool, and we can just check these points. We can just tweak these points, move these points, change the shape. Right, so now this is the shape. We can apply colors to this if we want. Right, but what we are interested in is we will be creating a simple logo here, a dog logo. Here we have the text dog. So now one thing we'll be doing is we will also convert this text to a normal vector graph. Currently this text is created with the type tool, but we can't use it like a shape or a vector graphic. To convert this text to a vector graphic, what we'll be doing is we'll be expanding the text. So we'll select the text and we'll go to object, and here we have the option expand. And once we expand, now this becomes a normal vector shape rather than text. And we can also ungroup the letters here. So we can just simply right click on these on this word, and here we have the option ungroup. Right, so now we can see, and we can do one thing. We can just make it a little bit big here. We can also make it a little bit thin here, so something like this. It looks nice. Right, so now we can just select this O, and we can just activate our shape builder tool. Now we will close the hole inside this O. So what we can do is we can just simply hold shift and then just drag over this O section. Now we have closed the gap inside this O. Right. Now what we'll be doing is we will just select this dog graphic. We can change its color for differentiation. We can keep it like this. We'll just make it small. Right. So the thing we'll be doing now is we will just select both the O and this dog, and then the thing we'll be doing is we will activate our shape builder tool, and this time we will hold Alt or Option and then click over this dog graphic. So we'll be subtracting the dog portion, or we'll be cutting the dog portion that is intersecting the O. So let's do it by holding Alt. So we can see. So now we have created a nice interesting logo using Shape Builder. So we can give different colors to these letters. We can also just group all these letters now, and to make it more interesting we can just go to Effect, and here we have the option Stylize, and we can apply a drop shadow to this letter. So we can just change this X offset value. So we can see here we can also change the Y offset, and we can reduce the opacity of the shadow. We can keep it let's say 30%. Right. So here we have created an interesting logo using Shape Builder. The only thing we are supposed to understand here is if we hold Alt and click inside a shape, we will be subtracting that portion inside the shape, and if we hold Shift and drag, we will be combining the portions of the shape. So this is all about Shape Builder.